Hello everyone and welcome back. We have started uploading a lecture series on pharmacology. Hope you are enjoying the pharmac lectures. Do visit our playlist on pharmacology on our channel page. There you can find all the lectures of pharmac uploaded till now. And also, if you don't want to miss any of the upcoming lectures, please subscribe to our channel right now and also put on the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new lecture, you get a notification of it. Also, in our pharmac lecture series, we have tried to include mnemonics for making the lecture interesting and for easy remembrance of the classifications of drugs. So let's start with today's topic, that is the anti-cough agents or the drugs acting on cough. So this is a very small but a very important topic which is asked usually as a short question or a viva. First, let me tell you a funny incident that happened to me when I was in my second BDS. On the day of my university pharmac viva, the examiner asked me many questions from ANS, CVS, antimicrobials and other important topics of pharmac. I was answering the questions satisfactorily, but all of a sudden I started coughing a bit in the viva. So the examiners, they diverted the questions to the anti-cough drugs. I had read about the anti-cough drugs but had failed to revise the chapter just before the viva, so I could not answer the questions satisfactorily. It resulted into poor performance of me in the university exam. So I don't want this to happen to you. So I am uploading this lecture on anti-cough drugs. The key for successfully preparing for pharmacology chapters is repeated revision. You have to watch and rewatch these lectures again and again to be thorough with the chapter. So keep on watching. You tend to forget pharmacology topics because it is a volatile subject. Keep on repeated revision with the subject. So let's start with the anti-cough drugs. Introduction. Cough is a protective reflex. The purpose of coughing is to expel out the respiratory secretions of foreign particles from the air passage. Cough occurs due to stimulation of the mechanoreceptors or the chemoreceptors which are present in the throat, or the stimulation of the stretch receptors which are present in the lungs. So cough is of two types, useful and useless. The useful cough is a productive cough. It expels out respiratory secretions from the body and it should not be suppressed. But the useless cough is the non-productive cough. Now, the treatment of cough is of two types, a specific therapy and the non-specific therapy. The specific therapy include the use of antibiotics, while the non-specific therapy is more of a symptomatic treatment. So, we will here study the non-specific therapy for cough. There are 4 classes of drugs in the non-specific therapy of cough. An easy mnemonic to remember these 4 classes of drugs is here you can see a teacher teaching an important topic and all the students are paying attention to it. So the mnemonic is everyone pay attention to anti-cough. I tried to include the name of the topic in the mnemonic so that you don't get confused in the end which mnemonic is for which classification. So the mnemonic for anti-cough drugs is everyone pay attention to anti-cough. So everyone stands for the expectorant group of the cough drugs. Then the pay is for pharyngeal demulcents, attention is for the antitussive drugs, and anti-cough is for the adjuvant antitussive drugs. Now the first group, that is the expectorants, they are also called as the mucokinetics. Now this group of drugs are of two types, those drugs which increase the bronchial secretion and those drugs which are mucolytic. So now, those expectorants which increase the bronchial secretion are called as bronchial secretion enhancers. They reduce the viscosity of the secretion. The drugs in this group are guaifenesin, Vazaca and balsam of Tolu, which increases the respiratory secretion and increase the mucociliary function of the mucosa. Now, ammonium salts is also a bronchial secretion enhancer. It acts as a nauseating agent. This nausea increases the bronchial secretion. Then comes the mucolytic drug. As the name signifies, it lyses the mucus or it thins down the mucus. Now, this group of mucolytics include bromhexine and ambroxol. These drugs, they thin down the secretion, and acetylcysteine and carbocysteine. These drugs, they open the disulfide bonds of the mucoprotein present in the mucus, and opening of this disulfide bond thins down the mucus. Now, the pharyngeal demulcents. The second group is the pharyngeal demulcents. The word demulcent itself means the agent which relieves the inflammation. So the pharyngeal demulcents, they decrease the afferent impulses from the inflamed pharyngeal mucosa. These demulcents, they give symptomatic relief, especially in cases of dry cough. Their demulcents may be in the form of lozenges, cough syrups or linctuses. Now, the third group of the anti-cough drugs is the antitussive drugs. These antitussive drugs are also called as the cough center suppressants. They suppress the cough center. Now, these antitussive drugs are again of three types: the opioid antitussive, the non-opioid antitussive, and the antihistaminics. The opioid group of antitussives include the drug codeine. This codeine is considered as a standard antitussive and it is selective for the cough center in the brain. The duration of action of codeine is 6 hours, but the major drawback of codeine is the addicting or dependence property and the constipation. The patient gets addicted to the codeine. Secondly, Folcodeine. Folcodeine is also a member of the opioid group. The duration of action of this drug is more than codeine, that is 12 hours, and the advantage is that it has no analgesic and no addicting property in it. The non-opioid group of antitussive includes noscapine, which shows no dependence and it is equally potent than codeine. Then dextromethorphan is a non-opioid. It increases the threshold level of the cough center and thus late initiate the cough reflex, and it also reduces the mucociliary function. Clofenidiol is a non-opioid which acts centrally. It has slow onset and a longer duration of action. And antihistaminics are also the non-opioid antitussives which have a sedative and anticholinergic action. That is, it reduces the secretions. These antihistaminics have no sensitivity to the cough center and it has no expectorant property. But these antihistaminics, they reduces the secretions. Fourth group of anti-cough drugs are the adjuvant antitussives, which include the bronchodilators such as salbutamol and terbutaline. Now, when there is stimulation of the pulmonary receptors, there is a bronchoconstriction, and this bronchoconstriction results into coughing. Now, what these bronchodilators do? The bronchodilators increases the surface velocity of the airflow during coughing. This increased surface velocity clears the secretion from the air passages and thus it relieves coughing. So this is the mechanism of action of the bronchodilators in suppressing the cough. So here we complete with this short but an important topic, that is the anti-cough drugs. The next lecture will be on anti-asthmatics, which is a very important long answer question which is asked in exams. That's all for now. Please give us your feedback. We are waiting for them, and happy studying.